All right, welcome to another session of Demon Gate Sundered Sands. This will be session 2. Our players are Demi as Soth, Aki as Azrig, and Rogue as Aragrim. This is another Demon Gate session, following up our previous session 1, where all of our players started out as slaves in the desert. I do have a handout we can get into to go ahead and give us a nice refresher. I'm going to go ahead and show that now. Everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. Goth may be an unforgiving place, but let it not be said that some souls are fortunate. When last we spoke, the focus of our scrying, a group of 3 prisoners in the unforgiving sands of Sundered, appeared to be in a rather pitiful state. What hope could they have? The hope they made for themselves. Resiliency rewarded by luck, as a great commander from the nearby city of Dum Dooh happened upon their captors as they were breaking their binds. Good tidings to them indeed. Our heroes now march along back to the city. With little direction and lack of their own supply, they stay close to the war party of Al-Hassam Sadur. He promises them a safe escort to the city of Dum Dooh, a great coastal empire ruled by the mighty Pasha Jadar. And so, our story can truly begin. For even the threads of fate that I pull grant me no illusions of what is to come. All right. So quickly, before we get too deep into it, I know some people had some roles about learning spells, teaching, things like that. So the first thing I want to see, Aki, were you teaching Soth anything in particular?
Yep. Detect life, I believe it was,
Okay.
right?
All right. So what I want to see here, Soth, go ahead and look at what your intelligence modifier is for learning spells, your spell time, so it's teaching.
2d6w?
Roll 2d6 for me. So 3 weeks, 21 days. Right, or I think coffin weeks are actually longer, if I remember correctly. They're 10 days in a week. Is that correct, Rogue?
Correct.
Okay. So 30 days. Now, so this isn't usual for the rules, but I'm allowing it in this particular case. So since normally with teaching and with research, it can take less time for someone to teach someone else. Normally there's also a level requirement if you don't have teaching. But it's going to impose additional, penalties to the role for, teaching, make it less lucrative and less effective on it just because they don't have the necessary materials and skill set. So, Aki, go ahead and roll if you are teaching. So go ahead and roll your intelligence, and then that divided by 4 will be the amount of days you knock off of Soth's training time for Detect Life.
Awesome. Let's hope I roll good. It's
You are going to do the full 30 days.
Oh yeah, it's a D2. Oh yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's Azrig's instruction. Perhaps it's either difficult for you to understand, or you just don't relate to the way he describes it. I'm not certain.
He's an odd teacher. A lot of no more like this.
Yeah.
You have
So he
to,
gives
you
you
have to
basic
feel the
idea and-
things, where they are.
So not too much going there. And then so before Demi rolls his any kind of teaching or anything on this end, I think we actually did our roll for what we're rolling for pre-session. So just to kind of verbalize it, I guess, so how would you describe your teaching methods to Azrig since he's kind of participating? What would you be showing him?
I would, go over the basics. I went to school for this, and I remember my first days not knowing anything. I would try to emulate what my professors showed. drills mostly.
All right. So, Ezra, go ahead and make a thaumaturgy check.
He doesn't have that.
So it'd be a straight intelligence roll.
Cool. He's good with magic, but it's instinctual rather than
Hmm.
by actual it's not terrible.
Yeah, so learning the basics of whatever Soth's showing you, you are just having a lot of trouble picking it up. It's, the instruction is difficult. It's not like instruction that you've had before. It is more theoretical. There's some basic things that are being shown, like, drawing circles and things like that, but it doesn't seem like you're really picking up much traction on um, any spells in particular right now.
Cool.
And I want to stress that he's seen my Varg, and I want him to imagine that while he's doing these drills, Picture my Varg. It'll help.
Should I roll to see how long it takes him to learn from that as well?
Right now, you're just not picking up any skills at this time. It's not really. There's not really a spell that he's able to teach you very well at this time. From what instruction? Because I'm assuming you think he's struggling a bit too much with the basics, though, at this rate.
Yeah, he doesn't show much promise, but we'll keep at it.
All right. So that's that resolved. So now we'll move into kind of the situation. So you've been all traveling with Al-Hassam Sadur, as stated. He was the captain of that group, and he's actually a general of Dum Dooh, as you've learned, traveling the last few days. He has spoken to you on some occasions. Other soldiers and slaves have spoken with you. You are a few days away from Dum Dooh at this point. You've been traveling for, I would say, about a half a week, so about 5 days. Mostly uneventful. A few beasts here and there, but they stayed clear of the large group of soldiers. This, we're going to take some time to go ahead and do a bit of RP. If you have any questions about Dum Dooh, this would be a position where you have been talking with Al-Hassam, as he would know the area. So if you have questions or you want to interact with each other as well, we can do a bit of that before we get to the city.
Let me see. Azrig is mostly kind of obsessed with learning more spells, so he's kind of studying really hard. He has managed to get a good grasp of circle magic itself, but actual spells, far from it. He's quick to learn most things, but when it comes to actual magic, the way he was taught is very different from most. Much more almost spiritual in the way that it was taught. So he has a rough time picking things up from Soth. Regularly getting frustrated and then going off to hunt, as far as he calls it, but rarely coming back with all that much. But yeah, nothing particular. He is curious. I'm sorry, what was the guy's name again?
Al-Hassam Sadur.
Al-Hassam, yeah. So he'd kind of, at some point along the journey, he would definitely ask Al-Hassam kind of a general question about Dum Dooh. What's the layout? Is there somewhere we could stay, etc., etc.?
Yeah, go ahead and frame for conversation. I mean, he doesn't shy people away when they approach him. He's usually towards the front of the group, but he doesn't shy away from talking with anyone. Really, he's very approachable from what he's meant to say.
Yeah, that wouldn't have ever stopped Azrig anyway. Azrig kind of approaches him. Savior, yes. How?
Looks down, sees Azrig approaching. Yes, you are the one called Azrig, correct?
Yes, Azrig.
What can I do for you, my friend?
I am curious about this Dum Dooh, yes?
Yes, you wish to know more about the city from which I hail. By all means, my friend. I know many things. Perhaps not as much as I wish I did, but ask away.
Yes. He kind of thinks about the first question. It has water, yes?
Yes, indeed. Dum Dooh is a coastal city. One of the many things that keeps the city going is the trade from the north. All sorts of people, perhaps not always the most reputable, but they bring in many goods to the city, and we exchange many in return. Very profitable.
Good. Good, yes. I have missed the waters.
Well, I cannot always recommend swimming in it. After all, we do have the occasional reef shark that is nearby, but you seem more than capable if one were to try to turn you into a snack.
He actually thinks about that and kind of, again, that air quote grin of Azrig kind of shining his rows of teeth. Yes, shark meat is good. But, alas, yes, is there a place for us to stay? Yes?
Uh, it depends. Do you wish for temporary lodging or more permanent while you are here?
Azrig shrugs. Not sure. Memory is jumbled.
Well, from what I hear about the other slaves, what you have accomplished in the mines there, you are more than welcome to apply for citizenship for permanent residence. I would direct you to Falal Ahad. Oh, pardon. Falal Assad. He is in charge of that portion of things. Citizenry, putting people through the proper tests and assigning them potential dwellings. As far as temporary lodging, if you wish to pay per night, there are a couple of inns that are located in the city. One of which is run by Alwyn the Sailor. It is the Drunken Flagon, I believe, something of that nature. I do not get there often. There's another in the more rich portion of the city, a bit more well-to-do. That is run by a man named Delmar. It is called the Delmar's Inn. Rather simple name.
Yes. Very good. Well, this citizenship, yes. Does it take long?
You will forgive me, I am not as familiar with the process as I should be, being a general of the city, but last I remember, it did not take much. It was answering a few questions about your intent, making sure to clear any potential criminal background, making sure you can upfront of it and honest payment for your monthly tax. Falal Assad can provide more information. He is at the mosque in the city.
Good. Yes. He kind of, again, pauses to think, his kind of claw-like hand tapping at his snout. And kind of pauses, and without really continuing his conversation, kind of lets Al-Hassam kind of continue on and kind of falls back a bit slower pace without really saying anything else.
Yeah, he looks at you and then sees that you kind of fall back, and he doesn't take. He kind of looks a bit confused, but then he just kind of shrugs it. He's familiar that some lizard folk are strange. There are enough of them, he knows, so he just kind of lets it go by.
When Azrig falls back, he almost bumps into Aragorn, who's following not too far behind him. And Aragorn wasn't looking either. He was kind of walking through the sands and looking over towards the female that healed him. My willpower roll that I rolled is kind of overcoming his lost love, which last time after the fire of the battle, I guess he was feeling a little bit more frisky, but right now he's definitely the thoughts of her and the guilt and stuff are keeping him more to himself. He doesn't quite have the courage to even go over there and try to flirt with her, so he looks back towards Azrig and notices him fall back towards him. And are you finding anything else interesting about the city we are headed to?
Azrig kind of stops the tapping on his chin as he was doing, kind of slowing his pace, and then kind of catches up again a bit and turns to Aragorn. Yes, well, no. Places to stay, yes. I forgot. But it sounds like there are places, and possibly residents, yes. Long term. Does Aragorn, like, look openly like...
Hey, you're
depressed?
really choppy.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
chopping a little bit.
Let me see. How's that?
Sound better for now.
Alright, cool. Yeah, he mentioned that. Did you guys get any of that, or?
Not really.
Yeah. Yes, well, mentioned lodgings, yes? Temporary and some long-term residents, yes? But, forgot names. And, then he was gonna, I was gonna ask, is it kind of obvious on Aragorn that he's not, like, looking the best, kind of depressed or however?
Yeah, would I notice that, or should I make a perception check on that?
I mean, are you trying to disguise the fact that you're depressed? Because he's asking about you if he thinks you're out of place. If you're trying to disguise it, then yeah, I mean, you would do concealment, I guess, or something of that nature.
I probably wouldn't be hiding it.
Yeah, I mean, you can, Azrig, I guess you could, if you don't know if Azrig would know right away, you could do some kind of charisma check, or insight would be, that would be more perception to see if you can see it, but you can see if you pick up on it.
I imagine he reads fairly well on people compared to some other situations, but then again, he is also pretty oblivious, so let's roll just in case.
Just the pink skin.
Yeah,
Looks pretty normal to you.
Another soft human.
So what are your plans when we get to the city? Do you have any plans?
Unsure. Perhaps learning would be good. Regaining memories, yes? Aside, perhaps stay for now. Not sure.
The magic the Dark One has been teaching you.
Yeah, he's pretty emotive for the most part usually. He kind of is a bit more upright at that point. At the moment it's mentioned, and his teeth kind of show, but not in that kind of like jolly almost way. It's kind of in like a kind of growly kind of way. Yes. Magics elude me, yes. The circles, yes, the circles I can draw, yes. But not the wolf thing, yes. Cannot do it well. At all, really.
It seems it would be difficult for me. That's why I rely on a trusty sword.
Yes. Soft human does best to learn good sword work. But Azrig is Mudai. Azrig must master magic and steel. And more.
I suppose I shouldn't talk very much. Since I did get beaten down, you needed to help me. Save my life. I suppose I owe you my life.
He kind of tilts his head at that. Maybe. Yes. Not sure. Doesn't matter. He kind of pats Aragorn on the head. I am kind. Not like Malfi, not make you slave.
He laughs and kind of pushes his hand away jokingly off of his hair. And he says, I know this. You are nice. For a big lizard man.
Yes. But perhaps better teachers, books, in city. Yes. Learn much more easily.
Aragorn looks around for Soth if he's anywhere nearby.
Business.
You chopping now, Demi?
Ah. Hello.
Better?
Yes, I'm probably just minding my own business, you know. I've got a book with me, probably reading through it, refreshing memory.
And he says, is he within, like, hearing range of us? While we're
How big
walking?
is the little convoy?
This is probably around 50 soldiers and then, probably as many or a few more slaves. So this is at least 100 or so people.
I guess... I guess be within the vicinity, but I'm definitely not treat you guys anymore.
You're still a little bit choppy.
But Aragorn will be like, is the Dark One coming with us?
Not sure.
I suppose if he has to finish teaching you the magic.
Yes, good point, yes. And Azra that kind of stands very, very tall. Like, he's usually, like, pretty tall, but he's often kind of hunched a fair bit. But when he actually stands full height, he also kind of uses his tail to support him a bit. He's, like, towering. And he kind of looks over towards Soth. Yes, Corpse Eater. Yes, over here. Teacher.
What was that? I have a name, you know.
Yes, I forget names, though.
And what is it that you want?
Are you coming with us, yes? Continue teaching?
Well, I have not yet learned to detect life, so until that is met, I suppose I will be following you.
Good. Ezra kind of tilts his head at that. Then should we find place to stay, yes?
Many places we could stay. Do you have one in mind?
Savior mentioned tavern. That sounds good. Good place to rest. And some other
Yes,
place,
but
yes?
they be accommodating.
Anything is fine. Stones if must.
No, I meant more about me. I'd rather not
Sorry, it's
have
cutting out real hard.
Hello?
Yo.
Is it working? It seems like it's working.
Is it me or...
You sound pretty clear.
That sounds good now.
Clear. Alright.
Whatever you did,
All right.
Right.
Just had to put the spit shine on it. We're good to start again. Just go ahead and let me know.
Alright, yep. Whatever.
All right, I think we finally got it sorted out here for the tech issues. I think we're good. Okay, so go ahead, Demi.
I don't fucking... What were we talking about?
You guys were
Lodging.
talking about lodging.
You
So
had something to say
opinions on
about
it.
the type of place we should get.
Yes, well, will they accommodate someone like me?
Ezra kind of shrugs. Probably. Maybe.
You would be surprised how many pitchforks get raised when you... He sort of like motions at his body.
Yes, that makes sense. You do look like a monster.
And you aren't so attractive yourself, lizard man.
Perhaps to you. But I have fine scales. And he kind of strokes one hand down along the length of his tail.
Yes, but have you seen these horns? And he'll sort of stroke one of his horns.
Yes, but I do not have horns. I do not need them.
I do not have scales. I do not need those either. What is your point?
He kind of tilts his head. I would think you'd be better with scales, but after thinking on it, perhaps not. It would
Maybe
look
you
worse.
should get some horns. It is a sign of Power, strength. Is that not what you're all about?
He kind of tilts his head. Perhaps a skull of some kind.
Well, you already have a skull.
No, would get in the way. Too cumbersome.
As you guys are talking, some of the soldiers that are nearby kind of overhear the conversation, look kind of confused at one another. As you're kind of talking about lodgings, one of them does pipe up, and you are worried about your kind being rejected here, Vatagi.
Yes, wouldn't you?
Perhaps in other places it would be more of a problem, but in Dum Dooh, there are many like you. Well, not particularly like you, but many cut from the same cloth, perhaps, is the best way to put it.
You're saying you have my ilk?
I do not know much differences, I apologize, but there are others who claim and who have such varied appearances in Dum Dooh. Many, in fact.
Well, then let's get going.
Good. Yes, we have a long walk.
All right. Anyone else asking questions of anyone or roleplay between one another before we continue?
No, I'm good. Aragorn is gonna, after Soth talks about his appearances and stuff and kind of being worried about it, Aragorn just nods and kind of looks down at the sand, thinking on it for a while. And that'll be it for him.
All right. So you all continue. It takes a couple of days to arrive in the city, but eventually you do make your way into Dum Dooh, and it is quite a sight. As you are brought into the cityscape, the architecture you might have come to expect, maybe if you were in country previously, you see many things, very Arabic style architecture, dress, but there are many different cultures that seem to interweave in Dum Dooh and intermingle. You also see many Vatagi, so perhaps not so many Wendigos of your type, but you do see many others that you can recognize offhand that share similar appearance, and they seem to be interacting as normal, at least in this part of town. No one seems to be too put off by it.
Yeah, Aragorn is gonna definitely be on the watch.
Yeah, Azrid kind of stands tall, trying to take in as much as he can. This is a large place. Bigger than expected, yes?
Not so different from Leos.
And what is that? A place, yes?
Ah, yes, that's where I am from. More to the north. Of course, there are more colors, though. And it smelt a little better.
Azrid kind of takes his head high and whiffs the air and kind of shakes a bit.
Yeah, so, Al-Hassam, as the army is kind of going to whatever posts they must have set up, and a few of them continuing with him, he kind of pulls up along the side of you, and, well, here we are. Is it everything you would expect it to be? beautiful place, yes.
Quite big. Yes, interesting. He kind of thinks to himself again. I do not think I ever went to such quite a large place before. City-wise.
Yes, and if you're not careful, you can get lost in it, my friend. And getting lost here, while I do love it, is not always the best thing to do.
I don't think the problem is getting lost, but never being found.
A wise way of putting it, to be true.
Ergen looks around, kind of wide-eyed for a minute, and smiles up towards Hassam and bows his head. Thank you, my friend, for saving our lives.
Do not mention it. It is our duty of a captain of the city to make sure that he protects his wards, no matter if they are from here or in his territory. The Pasha offers safe haven for all those who are taken in by cruel Morphine. Everyone deserves their chance of freedom.
Yes, I am grateful.
Now, I must be going. The Pasha requested my report as soon as I returned, but do you have any other questions? Do you wish for directions anywhere? I can try my best to guide you.
Yes. Lodgings and perhaps a place to get work, yes?
Very good. The name of that tavern, I apologize. It escaped me at the time. I gave you some foolish name. The Drunken Brawler or something foolish, I do not recall. It is the Bright Blade. It is run by a Westerner named Alwyn. He is a decent man for coming from such stock. Alwyn, referred to as the Sailor. Yes, the Bright Blade. The other one, as I said, is Delwar's Inn. That is more a fancy place. It is not bad per se, but if people turn their noses up at you for your appearance, do not fault them. They are used to being pampered. As far as for work, I do not know what work you seek, my friend. If you're looking for blade work, I suppose you could likely find some asking around the tavern, or there is a few notice boards here and there. And for more permanent lodging, as I said, if you go to the mosque, you can find the Falal there. Falal Ahmed.
Excellent. The Bright Blade. That sounds promising enough.
Yes. And perhaps you have those, what are they called? The humans you are paid to hunt, yes? Or people paid to hunt, yes?
He kind of scratches his chin. You're talking about the bounty hunting.
Ah, yes. Hunt the bad folk, yes?
I would not know. I am gainfully employed. But I am certain you will find something to do. You all seem to be of a different caliber than those who were chained with you. I wish you nothing but the best. And should you ever need anything and you see me around the palace, I will see what I can do.
Yes. He kind of bows his head pretty low, and then kind of looks back up. Yes, I'm gonna guide you.
And may the Pasha protect us all. He holds his hand up, and I bid you a farewell.
Farewell, Hassam.
Goodbye, Savior.
And he takes his leave and leaves you all to it.
Ezra kind of turns to Aragon. What is Pasha? A god?
Well, Aragon... Would he know that? Or...
Roll intelligence check.
Yeah.
Ezra, relearning the world.
You're not sure. You don't know if it's a title or if it's a god.
Yeah. I have never heard of that title. I guess we should find out.
I find it hard to understand their accents, their dialect.
Their women seem interesting enough.
Perhaps. Not enough scales, though. Perhaps we
No
should go on
horns
then,
either,
though,
yeah?
to this blade, yes?
Yes. Let's go. Let's go get work and food and maybe a bath.
We could start at the market.
You wish to buy something?
He mentioned the food.
Yes, good idea. Although he did mention sharks.
We are in the middle of the desert. There are no sharks here. He's a foolish man.
Port City, yes? Waters to swim, yes, I must find them soon. But for now, perhaps, maybe they sell it. Yes?
They sell shark?
Maybe.
I've never eaten a shark.
Me neither.
So market first.
Sounds like it.
Let's wander the market.
Fucking shopping episode.
Gotta go buy some shark meat.
So you do you pretty much ask around. People are able to direct you, and after a bit of fumbling, you're able to locate one of many market districts in the city. Of course, Dum Dooh is a very large capital-esque city, so there are many different places. But you do locate a section of market that is rather long. You go in, and at this point, you can tell me what you're looking for, and I will tell you if you find it and if you can afford it.
We are broke.
Well,
You guys have 30 silvers between the three of you, and whatever you rolled for in the beginning.
I think I had, oh yeah, my where is it? My 2 bits.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 little
Yeah.
pieces of bone in my pocket, in my nice leather pants pocket.
Yeah, those are like pennies, pretty much. And there's like 4 silver to each gold talon. And like a knife, a nice dagger, I think is like 5 gold. So, I mean, we could get some food and we could get some lodging, but if we wanted some cool items, we're screwed.
Yeah, Asrig would actually kind of be asking around if there's any weaponsmiths around, or blacksmiths in general. Kind of very intrusively asking, like, people that brush near him.
Roll charisma.
Let's hope I hit that 4.
Whatever it is for persuading, I don't think you have it, but
No, he definitely doesn't. Hey, it's not as bad as it could be.
people kind of avoid you pretty much. They're off put by your appearance, and I guess you're asking them pretty brusquely, "Hey, where is this blacksmith?" And they just kind of shrug you off
Pretty
and try to
much.
scurry away. They don't really pay you much mind on it.
Once I notice him doing that and getting brushed off, I'll try to back him up too and say, "Are you looking for weapons, my friend?"
Not quite, but yes. Blacksmith, perhaps. I figure, well, if we cannot find blade work or something else, perhaps I can work for a time, make weapons, and perhaps make my own.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and so you ask around. There is a younger individual, a young man actually. Yes, my friend. How can I help you?
Well, the sun shines on us today. Both suns, actually. Could you point us to a good weaponsmith or an armor, perhaps, in the city?
He, what's around? If you go to the far end of this district, there are a couple of men who work blades and shields, and armor are more difficult to come by, but he does come out from time to time. He'll be positioned near them because they sell their wares together. There was another who worked very cheap in the poor districts, but his house was repossessed because he was, well, engaging in unsavory things.
Many thanks.
Of course. How shall I guide you?
Pasha, what is the Pasha, may I ask? Is this a god?
And he kind of furrows his brow. Are you new to the city?
Yes, we are not from here, and just arrived today.
Ah, you are blessed then. He is the god ruler of this place, Pasha Jajar, and he makes a symbol, more like an Ankh type thing, across his chest. He has ruled for many years, many years. He appears immortal. He is a true god, I think, of the city.
And Aragorn will nod and smile to him, and he'll produce one of the silver coins and give it to him. Many thanks to you, my friend.
And he takes it, he bites it to check, and he's saying it's a real silver coin. Many thanks to you as well, my friend. Welcome to the city. Safe travels, huh?
And he nods, looks over at Azrig and Soth. And, all right then, shall we go see this weaponsmith?
Yes. Although he kind of turns to Soth. You wanted meat, yes?
I am sorry?
Meat, yes? You were hungry.
No, yes. You can go to that, the weaponsmith, yes? I will look for me.
Yes, we meet at, what is the name? Bright Blade, yes?
Aragorn nods to the Bright Blade. I will go with you, Azrig.
Very good.
All right. Split the party.
Yeah,
So Azrig and Aragorn, you're going to check out like some blacksmith wares and things like that.
Yeah. And I'm really contemplating picking some pockets, but
Okay, and then so you're checking around for meat.
I am not. I'm waiting for them to leave.
Oh, okay. You can either whisper it to me, or I can come back to you.
Oh no, it's cool. I'll say it whenever.
So I mean, they'd be out of eyesight. I mean, they're going there directly. So what are you doing?
I want to look for rat folk. For dumb.
Oh shit. Okay.
Interesting.
All right then. Give me just a moment. Let's do you guys first.
Okay.
So go ahead and so you're looking around for the blacksmith and everything. So you're able to find him based on those directions. And it's just he appears to be a just a standard looking human here. Just a moment, coughing. Just a moment. Bit of an older gentleman, but he is manning a stall. It appears it's connected to his shop. He has some things in the back that appears up to a blacksmithing rig, standard type gear set up with the furnace and everything like that. So he's standing out there. He doesn't appear to be working actively. He sees you both approach and doesn't say anything, but takes note of you.
Yeah, Azure could kind of look over the supply of what they have. They have weapons, and I think you said shields and stuff as well?
Yes, he's connected with an armor as well, a younger looking man, and they are both working in the same vicinity here.
Do they have any particularly rare goods, or does it look like kind of the generic stuff you'd expect of the city?
Looks pretty straightforward. You don't see anything that's really catching your eye. I mean, it's not bad make or anything. It's definitely not poor quality, but it's nothing that's
Nothing
blowing
super
you
exotic
away.
or anything like that. Yeah.
No.
Good. Ezra kind of looks the place over and then approaches the older man. You are Smith, yes?
That is correct.
Your wares seem good, yes? Good weapons. He kind of half-eyes the shields. Shields seem good, yes. Not that I use them, really. But he kind of holds up his Tessin for the man to look at. You have any of these? Tessin, yes?
He looks at it and he holds out his hand as if to take it and take a look.
Azric offers it up. It's a very
he
simple
looks-
bronze Tessin.
Yeah, he opens it and looks at it. And we do not make things like this here. And he hands the Tessin back. The design is not function. Too fanciful for us.
Yes. Very unique weapon. Very odd. Good for deflecting arrows, yes? But odd. Requires training. Not good for... what is word? Layman.
I can forge just about anything, but I would not forge that. That is very specific. A scimitar is better. Or a better dagger, sword breaker, things like this. This fan blade, fancy thing from the east. If you wish to use it and are good with it, so be it, but not something we make here.
Yes. You have... He kind of looks over the collection. A collection as expected, yes? Perhaps, though, such things, if they sell well, yes?
I am one of the best smiths in the city.
Yes.
Of course my wares sell well.
But they are... well, unique for you, yes? But not unique in selection.
Are you saying that my goods are standard? Average? Is that what you're implying?
Not in quality. They seem... He kind of looks over one of the blades. Not really touching or anything, but kind of looking over. They seem good, yes? I might have to buy some. Good daggers, yes? But... he kind of... thinks, tapping his claw to his chin again, trying to think of how to word this. Well... perhaps if you had more interesting things, yes? Bring new customers. Attract them to high-quality goods, yes?
The man kind of looks at you and he just kind of furrows his brow. If a man wants a sword, I make him a sword. If a man wants a fan blade, he can go to a crafts shop for that. I make weaponry. I do not make furry things.
Yes, but can you craft weapons of Mian Wu?
No, I craft weapons that will break weapons from the Wu. This is Dum Dooh. This is not the East. The East likes their fancy things. Eastern steel is lacking. It is pathetic. We have proper steel here in the desert that we dig out with our own hands. This is great steel, and he's holding up a scimitar. This will kill men. Perhaps in your hands that little fan can kill someone. But for a man who makes sense, he takes a curved sword, and he cuts a man in half with it.
Yes, perhaps. Perhaps that is your way. A shame, though. Such skill could be put to better use.
I'm afraid I will have to disagree with it, man. Are you going to purchase something, or are you here to berate the quality of my work?
He shakes his head. No, looking for work. But you... you do not like more interesting weapons, yes?
I like to sell weapons that people will buy. If I make this thing you show me, no one will buy weapons. Other blacksmiths laugh at me. And you say you look for work, you're looking to work for who? A smith?
He nods. Yes. Make weapons from Mian Wu. Exotic. Sell well, yes?
As far as I know, there is no one in this city who will help you make Mian Wu weapons. We make proper weapons here. And as far as work, this is my apprentice. He nods over to the younger man. I have no need for you.
Perhaps other Smith then.
You are welcome to look around. I make no guarantees for who has space for you, with your line of thinking.
You have no competitors then?
I considered myself to be without true competition. Others may make a sword, but none can make a sword like me.
Perhaps. A naive view, though. And he kind of looks over the weapons. Again, kind of done with the conversation and scanning the weapons again. And he kind of turns. Soft human, yes, we go.
And over the course of that, I know you were wanting to do some things. Are you trying to see if there's any purses worth snatching?
No, I'm going to change my mind. I am a coward right now.
All right. So no Percy Snatchy.
I don't want to get us in trouble and be that guy.
Gotcha. So, so go ahead then, if you're going elsewhere.
Yeah. Azric wants to look for more Smiths or anything like it. Someone who, presumably in this case now saying, maybe someone who doesn't have an apprentice, or maybe someone who doesn't look like they're selling quite as well, but have decent quality weapons.
I mean, you go around, you do find other, despite the man's boast, you do find other weapons and armor smiths that seem of similar quality, but they all have either apprentices or really aren't looking for them. They're very young themselves. They already have a lot. You look around and you get the impression that well, maybe you don't, but Aragon, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're kind of going through this.
Yeah, because he's kind of hanging back and watching.
So, I mean, when you look around, Aragon, you see that, while the city itself is beautiful, and there are certainly some very beautiful people and styles within it, there are a lot of people who appear to be not very well off. And perhaps one part of you, being from a larger city yourself, wonders if maybe this is a problem in the city, that there's a lot of people with maybe not enough ways for them to make money.
Yeah, a common problem. So I'll express it to Azric after we've stopped at a few places, or and be like, it seems there's not enough money to go around, my friend.
You think they cannot afford me? Yes?
And he'll think for a minute and look Azric up and down for a second. And be like, that's exactly right, my friend. They probably cannot afford your skills.
Yeah, Azric nods heartily. A shame.
And he contemplates telling him for a moment, like he's thinking for a second, and then he's like, perhaps we should find the Dark One.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of the Dark One, so you're looking for Ratmen?
Yes.
Okay.
Tarkanis.
Tarkins. That's right. Yeah, you can try to find some ratty boys. I guess, are you just looking around? Are you asking around? How are you trying to find them?
I'm looking in the slums.
Oh, you're going to the poor district.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll bring people for sight, but I've got just the thing. Just a moment. Let me make sure. I have to imagine having so many slides for
Well, I was going to say we have sight on
a
all
fucking
of it.
city. You have sight on all of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
I've got it
Jeez, man.
pinned down to one corner at the moment, but I'll try and zoom it in.
Yikes. Let me see if I have... I don't know if I enabled
I'm not
dynamic lighting on it. Oh, there we go.
Bioware,
Enforced line of sight.
Anthem.
Might have to refresh page, yeah.
How dare you?
It's okay, I zoomed in really quickly, so...
Nicely done. Okay, I think I have dynamic lighting on now, so refresh the page.
Oh, it looks like it adjusted. Okay, cool.
Perfecto. Everybody can see jack shit, I'm assuming? Excellent. So I'll bring you guys in for sight. Obviously, you guys aren't here. So you are in the poor district, so... and I'll bring you fellas in as well. So you're kind of looking around. Roll a perception check.
Oh no. Poor lad's about to get mugged.
I don't know about mugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find a couple of ratty boys in the alleyways. You see some big gathering towards the end of the street, but you see the rat men first. You're going towards them.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And these look like what kind of Tarks?
So I mean, they seem like I'll bring up the picture. They seem like fairly standard looking rat folk. They seem to be eyeing over a few items on their end here. They're looking through a small pile of things as you're approaching. They don't immediately jump up or anything as they see you. One of them takes note and looks a bit put off and bumps the other one, and they just kind of look at each other and look at you and... What are you looking at, thing?
Oh, I'm looking for you. Hello, I am no thing. My name is Soth.
They look at each other, and one of them puts a stone in his pocket. And, well, Soth, what do you want?
There's many things that I want, but right now I'm wanting to talk with you. You and I both know that Tarkanis really run the cities, yes?
And look at each other. This city run by Pasha Jadar, but maybe certain parts of cities Tarkansis run. Why, you ask?
And then I'll switch over to, I believe it's Nitchin? Is that how you pronounce it? Their language?
Nitchit, yep.
Switch over to their language. I am a friend. See, I know your tongue. And as a friend, and I'll take that silver coin I looted from earlier, I'll flick one to him. I am looking for favors.
As soon as the coin comes out of your hand, the one who had the stone grabs it out of the air, and they both, again, look at each other. This time more intrigue in their eyes. They look at the coin. The one bites it very daintily with his kind of jagged and dirty-looking teeth and nods. Begins to speak in Nitchit. Ah, yes. This one now sees you are a friend. Very good, very good. He puts it in a front pocket that he has on his tunic. What can these friends do for their new friend?
Right now, I am looking for information. There are people I am trying to avoid, and I know that you know the streets better than anyone else.
Who are you trying to avoid?
Well, there's only one in particular that comes to my mind, but then I'll name drop Von Alva. I'm not sure how notorious they may or may not be, but they have been hunting me for, it seems like, 100 years.
They pause for a moment. What do they look like? Like you?
No. They was it, are these called humans? Or do they have
Coffin. Coffin is what they can call them.
Gothin. I'll describe their garb and their usual operations, you know? How they go about things.
So the one with the claw here, he kind of scratches his chin and shakes his head looking at the other one. But the one with the stone, he scratches his chin, stops and thinks for a moment, and then, yes, we know this. I know this name. Von Alva, yes. There were some in the city looking for someone. They did not say who. There were no names. A cousin of mine was listening in on a conversation. There were 4 of them. Armor. Not like the armor that these Dum Dooh people wear. No. Western. Knights. Maybe? No. Lighter than knights. Steel. It all looks the same to us. They were showing a piece of paper to some about a week or 2 ago, looking for someone. They mentioned a Alva.
I see, and are they handing these papers out, or?
My cousin did not say. He was busy doing something. But they had a paper.
That is good to know. And then I'll, let's see. How much money do I actually have? I guess how many coppers in or crepes in a shilling?
What is it? Sorry.
Currency on the setting information. The coppers. Okay, so they're like nickels. The silver piece would be like a 25, a quarter, and a gold would be like $1. So it's coppers.
So coppers are like nickels, basically. So
5 in a silver?
Yep, 5 in a silver.
I'll hand 2 copper to both of them. Thank you for your time. I actually have a couple more questions, if you don't mind. I am going to be staying at the Bright Blade. Do you know anything about that? Is it somewhere I will be safe, or can I trust them?
They take the coppers and quickly put them away. And Bright Blade is good place. Alwyn, I think, is Pink One's name. Cawthon's name. Nice. From the west, but decent. Bearded fellow. Keeps drinks coming. Not care who stays as long as they pay well. Pay proper. Never. You know that Tarkins is perhaps not liked either in town. But Bright Blade, nice place.
That is good to know. And like I said, I will be staying there, so if you have any more information, or you find any of these flyers, or you see any of those people I described, you come to me, and I will give you more money. Because we are friends, are we not?
Yes, and friends give each other much money.
Yes, as long as we look out for each other. And it will go the same to you. You tell me where to find you, and if I hear anything, what is your name?
I am Skrezek, and this is my brother, Fezzik. And Skrezek is the one with the stone in his pocket. Fezzik's this one.
Yes, friends. If I hear anything that may interest you, you tell me where I can find you, and I will do that. I will tell you, yeah?
Very good. Since we are friends, and he will kind of look down the street at the gathering, and then look back at you, and I should say, Bright Blade is a nice place, but things not so good for people look like you right now.
Is that so? Welcome.
And they start gathering up their things and point over towards the crowd and go see for yourself, but perhaps see from distance.
I appreciate it. I hope to see you in the future.
You will. And they gather their stack of things. Like they were counting through bits, and they quickly put them in a bag and scamper off into an alleyway.
No, I'll go observe what they were planning.
All right, so I would say that your Sooth is fairly noticeable for multiple reasons. One, he's hideously deformed according to his character sheet, and probably not a face you forget. So, are you two asking around or just looking for him directly? Aragorn and Azrig?
Oh yeah, we were going straight to. Oh yeah, were we gonna look for him or were we gonna meet at Brightblade?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think we probably would have, because we said we were going to meet him at Brightblade, huh? We probably would have been heading back there.
I suppose kind of keep an eye out on the way. Yeah.
So they're going to Brightblade. So you see a gathering of people. It's a fair bit. There seems to be some kind of spectacle in the middle. How far are you going to? How close are you going to get? I should
Close
ask.
enough to hear, and I guess make out details of the people.
Yeah, so you get pretty. I think your perception is not that bad, is it?
Oh, it's balling. I think it's like 18. Oh,
So you-
20.
So you can see pretty well from a fairly safe distance away. So you're looking and peeking through, and so there appear to be a number of citizens kind of yelling curses and just general things that perhaps sound not so great to your ears. This sounds like whatever language it's in, it just appears to be rather obtuse and angry sounding. There is one of them who is dressed and has a sigil on it that appears to be dunes alongside some kind of glyph within the dunes. And he seems to be rabble-rousing and saying a great deal of things. Shouting about, a lot of it sounds like proselytizing to you. It's like basically preacher talk, more or less, if you've ever been around any of it. And he's just calling these things infernal, disgusting caricatures, things like that. Just seems to be going through a litany of curses towards something. And as he steps to the side, you see a female roped to a post. Her tunic cut down the middle, blood coming from her forehead as there's a sigil forced within the middle of it. Carved, it appears, rather, with perhaps a blunt blade. It looks fresh, cut deep and uneven. She does not appear to be fully human. She does have some characteristics which perhaps make her more of a Tagi-looking sort. She has pointed ears and elongated face. Her teeth look a bit sharp. She is crying as she is roped to this post. And they all draw stones, not large stones, but a fair bit of rocks. And they seem to be chanting something. Stone the devil, this constant, over and over, and they seem to be building up for it. They haven't really done anything as of yet, and that is what you currently see.
How many people are gathered around stoning the devil?
So probably about 10, 12. If you're looking, you don't see many weapons. I mean, you only see the one with the spear. This one has a spear with him.
So one has a spear. People, okay.
And the rest of them, for the most part, they seem like this one is the one that stands out the most because he seems to be wearing some sort of regalia. with some symbol that you don't immediately recognize. The others all seem to be pretty regular civilians, but are kind of whipped into a crowd frenzy right now.
I would like... You said she's chained up?
She's robed, not chained. So she's bound by her hands and feet to this post.
Man, if Asrig were there, this would be a shit show.
I do wish.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to summon a shadow imp.
Oh, all right. You may attempt to do so.
Which would be... Do I do brown magic then conjuring? Or circle magic then conjuring?
You don't have to do circle magic. Circle magic's more for if you're trying to do specific things, like summoning spirits or whatever, doing binding shit. You just roll brown spells.
Brown spells, but then I have my level up thing. The ability allows someone to add +2 to their conjuring skill. I guess that's not relevant, huh?
Not for this, no.
Yeah.
That would be for if you're trying to like do more like specific conjuring
Right,
stuff.
so brown magic, and I would like to use a frenzy. Like, is it a boost? Yes.
So I would just say you can try to roll and summon. I would make you roll for it in this case, but right now we're not in combat, so you have to spend frenzy to do an action.
Okay.
Yeah, frenzy gives you extra actions.
Yeah, so it really comes into play in combat. So we're not in combat yet. They haven't noticed you. They are
I'm
rather.
looking for my my brown magic.
If you go up to cast, I think.
Cast spell.
That just gives me siphon power, summon Varg, summon Shadow Imp. I'm guessing
Yeah,
summon
well,
Shadow
you can do summon Shadow Imp. It's it'll roll from it correctly.
Oh my.
That's twice,
You summon a mega shadow. Like this dude. This is the most jacked show. Let me see about this. I'm gonna give him some bonus for that. It's crazy.
Very good.
Because normally if you do that, you crit. So I'm gonna apply bonus health to the summon for this.
He could roll his circle magic skill maybe and boost it somehow.
Yeah, roll circle magic, and I'll give you some options for it. They're all gonna be good, but roll circle magic as well.
Fucking
Holy
what?
shit!
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here's what you can do. All right, so you can either summon. I'll bring out the Shadow Imp so you can see it because it's the first time I think you've seen this one. So there's your imp. Now can you take control of him? You can see what he has for hit points and everything.
Yes, I can.
So you can either give him triple his hit points, or you can summon 3 of them.
Oh my god.
3 of them is way better.
Okay. So you summon 3 Shadow Imps. Because that was outrageous. That was a double explosion. So you summon 3 Shadow Imps. What are you doing with these imps?
I want to command them. I just want them to cause a distraction and lead them away from my system. Pretty much. I just want them to fuck with the dudes chanting and the weapons and all that.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, so are they like being... Are they actually like trying to hurt people hardcore, or are they just trying to mess with people and scare
The
them?
only person I would want them to even slightly hurt might be the dude with the weapon, but other than that, I just want to like spook them.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him to chase the imps maybe, or get him away from her is the goal here.
Alright, I'm gonna give them some... So they're gonna roll... So the townspeople are gonna roll willpower, because this is some crazy shit, and then this guy will roll some to see if he has no interest in this or not. So they're gonna get some steps down for their dice, because this ain't some shit you see every day. So I'm gonna give them target number 8. They're gonna need some help. Okay, they're not having it. And then him, same thing. He's a little bit more devoted. So. Oh no. So describe how this looks as you and your imps force away 12 people from this site as the townspeople go screaming in terror. The man with the sigil on his chest stands his ground for but a moment, sees the face of the enemy, and then flees, dropping his spear.
Yeah, so Soth is going to be hanging back. He doesn't want to be the main attention here, but he's going to summon his imps. He's actually a bit surprised that he got 3. He was going for 1. He doesn't have names for these three yet, but he will. So one goes flying in the air, and it sort of makes a shrilling, like a shriek, and it draws the attention. The people look up, confused, maybe scared, and then the other two just start swarming, like in circular patterns. They're swiping at things, they're knocking shit over. And then they're sort of like, every time they like dive bomb people. They're not trying to hurt them for the most part. They're like dive bombing them, getting them to run away. While Soph is just like in the shadows, lurking, watching, smiling.
So you see this crowd. They see the one go up and screech, and then is it the bird? And they look around and see the other ones jumping around. The devil! She has summoned the devils! They drop their rocks, and you see people just knocking each other over to get away. Your imps are jumping on people's heads, pulling their hair, and stuff. And the one with the spear, you can see he's got a turban over his head, and you don't see his face; it's obscure. But you see eyes. The eyes go white, and he just looks. He stands the ground for a moment, sees them all jumping around, thinks maybe it's some kind of joke or trick, but he sees these are actually real. And you see the spear quiver in his hands. It shakes, and he takes a few steps back, and then tries to run with the spear, feels the weight, and drops it. As he is running to get away, you hear just whimpering, crying. These people fleeing down this hall, this long alleyway. You hear shutters close nearby. After but a moment, you are left with just the Batagi bound to the post.
Yeah, my imps are going to be causing a ruckus away from me, pretty much. I'm going to run over to that spear that he dropped, take it. I'm going to try to cut her binding.
Yeah, it's simple enough. You cut the bindings on the hands and feet, and she kind of falls to her knees. You get the impression she looks bruised and bloody, that she might have been enduring a bit of struggle before you came along, and she gains her senses. You saved me.
Yes, but maybe we should have this conversation elsewhere.
Yes, please, let's go. And
Do you have? I'm gonna look around. What is she wearing? Sorry.
It appears she's wearing like a tunic and like a kind of a dress skirt type thing. The tunic has been torn, so she is exposed this time.
I'm gonna look around. Anything to cover her up, particularly like hoods, anything.
As it so happens, somebody who fled in terror left behind one of their overcoats, overcloaks that they had, their little cloaks that they wear. So, there's a free cloak on the ground.
Yeah, so I'm taking a spear, for future use, but I'm gonna give her that cloak. Yeah, put this on and follow me.
And she quickly drapes it, and she is limping, but she follows readily enough, and she will follow you for now.
Yep, we're gonna get away from the commotion, the scene. Don't want to be caught.
Yeah, so the imps dance and jumble around and cause all sorts of ruckus in the poor area. You see some people running and calling for guards. Are you just letting them run their course, or are you...
Yeah, I'm letting them run their
Smashing
time
them?
out,
Okay.
I'd rather them not take damage if they don't have to, I'm cool with mine, bro.
So I mean, at some point, people are going to come out there. So are you dismissing them at some point as you're leaving, or?
Yeah, if they take damage, I want them to vanish,
Okay. So if you feel the pain of the imps, you want them to go. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's just like an order. Hey, fuck around, don't get hurt.
Okay. All right. We'll call that. So you guys, you run away with this other Batagi here, and you're able to get a fairly decent distance going through alleyways and pathways. And, you leave the imps, and after a while, you no longer feel their presence, but you are a safe distance away. Make sure you assess your mana on that as well, whatever the cost is.
Summon Imp is 3 components, 26 and 15. Ring? A drain 15, okay.
Yeah, 15.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Nobody died.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
All right, so you get a fair distance away there, Soth, and I mean, whenever you're trying to stop her, if you're going wherever you're going, she's following you for now.
Yeah. Do you know the Bright Blade? I am new here. I am Soth.
And she looks at you and she nods. And, I am Mariga. Yes, I know the Bright Blade.
Would you be okay there? I have two associates waiting for me.
And she thinks on it and nods. And yes, I know Alwyn. He is a friend of the one I work for.
Yes, we will talk more about all of this later. I would like to get you there, maybe look at your wounds. Is that okay with you?
And she nods. Anywhere is better than there. Thank you, Soth.
Yes, no problem. I could not leave if I just... Anyways, lead on. If you can.
She nods and will draw some of the cloak over her head, trying to cover the scar as best as she can. But it's, I mean, as you can see, it's very pronounced. But she does begin to lead you to the Bright Blade. So I will bring you all over there.
It's probably a good thing. We would have probably ended up killing somebody.
Yeah, I can guarantee you Azric probably would have ended up accidentally or otherwise.
Yeah. First day here, and we're wanted.
Yeah, as if we weren't already.
Might be anyway.
Yeah, just to find that plus 25 reputation I got from the gift roll.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's perfect.
Oh man.
Essential gift rolls. I'm just bringing you in here for...
Oh.
So I would say that you two arrived first. You two being Asrig and Arrogant, since you were headed there. I would say that that took a little bit of time to kind of skirt around the back alleys. So you two have been here for a bit. I'll give you sight here, Demi, and I'll let you know when you come in. You guys see that clearly?
Yep. Yeah. Would lodging here be considered poor, moderate, nice?
Poor.
Okay.
Poor, definitely.
So...
That's what I am. Yay.
Hey!
Two
Yes.
silver for a week.
Well, that's
That is
pretty good.
correct.
I've
one
got
copper
14
for a
whole
day.
silver. That's perfect.
Yeah, we could get some food for sure. We could get a nice meal going for. We could get a feast for 4 copper.
I mean, it's, for 4 copies.
So you guys come in, and it appears you walk into this facility and you see rather raunchy looking group of. I mean, it's a rather raucous type of bar. People are having a good time, pushing each other around. It's one of those type of atmospheres, for sure. And for the most part, it appears for me like there's sometimes some potential for violence. Some people go outside to perhaps start a fight, you think, based on the conversation. But all in all, it's not the worst dive you might have been in your time, Aragorn.
Yeah, a lot of different races.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's very much hodgepodge in here. You see all kinds of things. Tarkins just tuck away in the corner. Obviously, many Vatagi and humans. The occasional off-kilter orc or what have you that's in the area. But yes, it seems very... There doesn't seem to be any particular barriers of entry here.
Aragon will immediately start looking for a place to perhaps sit if there isn't available.
There is a table, a bit central, but not crowded or anything.
And he looks over to Azrig, and I suppose we could find some work here for sure.
Azric is kind of up tall again, tail pushing him up even higher as he kind of takes in the whole place, all the people.
It is very busy, yes? Are all taverns like this?
Yes, many I have been to.
He kind of really takes the place in.
Yes, perhaps work. Good. And food. Food would be good, too.
Right. So you do go in and sit. After a little bit, a woman comes up. She has a tray and some drinks going around. And welcome to the Bright Blade. What can I get you?
Hello. May I get a jug of brandy, please? And lots of food. A feast for me and my friend.
And she looks at you and looks him over. And I imagine you may do with 2 feasts, but yes, I will bring a feast and a jug of brandy.
Yes, please. What would you like to drink, Azric?
Yeah, Azric kind of turns, still in awe of, like, this is by all means really kind of one of his first few times, and especially first since his memory's been jumbled of being in an actual tavern before.
Yes, water. Lots of water.
And did you say you liked seafood?
Well, yes. Very much.
Shark, I believe. Do you have shark?
And she thinks on it for a moment, and I will have to ask Alwyn. I know we used to serve it, but it's been a while since we had one of yours in here. And she looks at Azric. A long time.
Yes. Fish would do. Or snake.
And she nods very slowly, and I will check on that. And I'll be back shortly. And she excuses herself rather quickly and heads over to a rather jovial-looking man behind the bar cleaning cups, and they exchange words.
I imagine some of those words are snake. Who the fuck eats snake?
If you're looking at it, he just looks rather amused by it and nods, and he goes and he pats some other man on his shoulders back there with him to serve some drinks, and you see him kind of hobble back off into the kitchen.
And
Good.
And Azric will go ahead and pull out his 2 silver pieces and put it on there. Enough for their food.
You mean Aragorn?
Or yeah, sorry.
I mean, Azric would, but
Arrogant pulls the 2 silvers out of Azric's pocket. And,
I would believe it.
I'll push your guys and stuff because Demi's gone for a moment. So you guys end up waiting a little bit. And are you doing anything while you're waiting?
I will be checking for beautiful human females and perhaps any sign of work, I guess.
Yeah, Azric has no idea how to socialize, so he's kind of keeping an eye out. But
so work is easy enough. You see there's like a board that's posted there that's got some papers attached to it on the opposite end of the wall there, next to a dartboard, conveniently enough. And as far as women, you can roll a perception check on that one.
Is there any girls there? Let's see.
There's definitely women in here. How you perceive as beautiful.
Oh,
You don't see any look particularly great. Even the serving girl doesn't look all that great. They're rather what you would expect from tavern wenches.
it's a rough dive.
Yeah, this is not the best place for that. More of the women look like they would rather beat the shit out of you than
Yeah.
so. So Soth would have come in at this point. So as you guys are waiting, you're kind of looking around, and you see him come in with someone else, actually.
South? Aragorn will turn to see them coming into the door, and then with a kind of surprised look towards Azrig.
Yeah, Azur kind of turns.
Yes. Corpse Eater comes. Good. You get lost.
Is that a woman with him?
And he kind of tilts his head.
Is it?
He seems genuinely not sure.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and enter at this point.
So, and I'll look around real quick. Are they like an obvious spot? Or?
They're not hard to miss.
I mean,
You
what's
notice the big lizard man.
Yeah, I
That's
imagine.
him right over there. No, start heading over there.
Yeah, she follows. She's got the cloak drawn over her head pretty well.
I was gonna say, I imagine there's probably not a ton of Sharfine around, huh?
No,
Yeah, sticks
not many at all.
like a sore thumb. I mean, probably no better since he almost has a resemblance to the Malfeed and stuff too, because of the scale coloration.
And Aragorn's the only white-skinned Terran waving with a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I be calling people Terrans or humans, or is it a big deal?
It works out fine. I'm not going to crucify you yet. So yeah, you're able to find him clear enough. I mean, Aragorn, you would recognize. Azrig, of course, sticks out like a sore thumb in the bar, despite everything. So you're able to find him pretty quickly.
I'll approach them. I'll try not to draw too much attention to myself. So I'm no longer in a rush. I mean, it's hard not to draw attention to yourself, but...
Most of the people, like, they throw passing glances, particularly at the woman. But they're deep in... you get the sense a lot of this drinking has been taking place for some time. We're probably sort of getting towards the evening, and these are people who come in all the time and get sloshed. So they're very deep in their cups, a lot of them. And even the ones that aren't, they appear to be engaged in some other tavern business, such as gambling or what have you.
Yeah.
Does she have a hood on?
She has a hood kind of over her head. You can probably tell from the frame that this is a woman, but you don't see her face very well. You see something amiss, probably.
So yeah, I'll approach the two. And they're sitting down, or what's going on? I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Hello, Azrig. Arjun. Ugh, I can't see her name.
RG.
This is Raiga.
Yes, Corpse Eater.
And he kind of looks at the other one.
This one is female, yes?
Aragorn will stand up and offer his hand. Well, hello.
Yeah, she takes a half step back and looks at Soth. You know them?
We traveled, but do we have a room yet?
Ezra shakes his head.
No, waiting on food. Maybe snake. Not sure.
I could get us a room, or a couple of rooms, yes.
Yes, that would be good. We need to have a talk.
What do you need to say?
A private talk. Yes, not out here. Too many years, too many hours.
Yes, of course. I shall get 2 rooms then. I'll be right back. And Aragorn will offer the chair for the lady and then head towards the bar there.
She hesitantly kind of walks over and sits in it, just kind of watching you the whole time. Keeps her shoulders tucked in and her head looking at the table.
Asric's pretty huge sitting next to her in comparison, I'm sure. As he's like halfway over the table, but he kind of tilts his head down low to kind of get a look at her. Is she obviously bleeding or anything like that?
You see blood coming from down from her forehead to her nose. She has the cloak over, so you don't exactly see source, but you do see some blood that's drying at this point.
Yeah, Asric kind of looks pretty concerned and he kind of sticks his face rather close, as he always does.
Is it hurt? There's blood.
And she
Yes?
leans back a bit and... I am fine. Please, do not let me interrupt your meal.
You're sure? Not in pain?
It will be dealt with. I can deal with it.
Asric looks as contemplative as a lizard can look. As he kind of takes some food, takes a bite, kind of chops at it, staring at her the whole time, and then kind of grabs one of the nearby plates of food and kind of shoves it towards her.
Eat. Food makes you heal better. Yes?
Yeah, so one of the people that brought over the food, she looks at it and she takes a very small portion to start to eat. Aragrin, you're approaching the bar to speak with one of the men working there for rooms.
Yeah. Or do they have like the prices written up there or anything? Or
No, you don't see any prices written up. You just see a couple guys cleaning it. This man in particular, you see cleaning some glasses, some cups, looking around. He sees you and, well, good day to you, friend. How can I help you?
hello, I would like a couple of rooms, please, too, if they are open.
Of course they're open. No one ever comes here to stay. They come here to drink. He looks around. Well, I've got a couple of options. You've got your standard type rooms. I clean them as best I can, but, gotta make do with what you've got. And he looks around, and this place isn't as great as it used to be. I've got some other fancier rooms. I put a couple of serving girls to them. They do a bit better job than I do. Double the price per day, though. So, what you have?
Just 2 of the normal rate would be fine.
All right. That is... You want it for the night, or you want it for a week, or what are you looking for, lad?
Let's say a week.
All right. 2 rooms, 2 silver a week. That's 4 silver, lad.
And he fetches the 4 and puts it on the counter there.
Paying up front. I like it. It's yours for a week. Both of them, I should say. He pockets in this. You're not from around here, are you?
He says, he looks around and he shakes his head. No, I'm not. Actually, and he slides 1 extra silver over and he says, and could you make sure that our stay here stays between us? I just don't want any trouble if anybody comes looking.
He squints his eyes and, some kind of trouble, lad? And he rests half his hand on the silver on the counter.
Yes, well, if you know of Hassan, I was a slave, and he saved me and rescued me. I have a fear of those slavers coming back for me, you know?
Are you telling the truth?
I am not telling you. It's kind of like a mixture of the truth, I guess. That is definitely a lie.
You can roll me charisma, or if you have, I think it's deceive, whatever it is.
I do not have deceive. And I'm not trying to seduce him, so I think I'll...
Not yet.
Not yet.
Here we go. Come on, give me some loving.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So you see him nod, and he kind of actually looks at you and nods very hard. And, I hate to hear that, lad. I'll tell you, I dealt with a fair bit of those slavers in my time. It was the Molfine, wasn't it?
Well, yes, it was.
I dealt with those skelly bastards in my time. No disrespect to your friend there. First time I've ever made shark for someone in quite some time, but those Molfine are dirty buggers. I'm glad that Alisum goes to put them down. I'll tell you what. I'll keep something on the side, huh? Make sure that a special book, just between us. No one else will know your lot is staying here, okay?
Thank you so much, friend. Well, what is your name?
Oh, Flemmy Manners. And he puts down the cup and reaches his hand across the, Alwyn. Everybody here calls me Alwyn the Sailor on account of my old trade. And yours?
I am Ergen de Leos. And he offers his hand.
Yes, but Dawson. And he shakes your hand as he's asking.
Ah, yes.
I've been a couple times. I gotta say, the women in Espadosa, he kisses his fingers. Beautiful lasses, beautiful.
He laughs and nods. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. And he says, well, many thanks, my friend. I will get back to my table then.
Very good. If you need anything, just ask, or ask one of my lasses. I'll take care of you.
I will. You have a fine establishment.
Oh, now you're trying to flatter me. He smiles. Thank you, though. Hope you enjoy the shark.
And he laughs. And then turns around and nods over towards the others. Starts to make...
Right. So you do have lodging for the next week at least. Again, go ahead and continue with any RP you're having at the table.
Yeah, Aragorn will slide in and immediately just grab the brandy and start pouring a mug. 2 weeks, or a week's stay. And I told him to let us know if anyone comes looking for us.
Good. Why would anyone look?
Oh, I told him, slavers, things like that.
Yes, it would be bad.
Well, we have a room, yes. I would like to go up there.
Now?
As you see, he's kind of stuffing his face. There's a bit of the actual shark there, which he seems to be quite savoring.
Is that shark?
Yes. It is good.
Well, snatch a piece.
Not as good as snake, but I like it.
Start chewing on it.
Yes, I don't know if anyone here's ever had shark. I've had shark many moons ago. It is rather gamey and tough. They are muscular creatures. But it's perhaps not the best shark. You get the sense that maybe it's a bit old. Not going to make you sick, but maybe right there on the edge, and was maybe purchased today by someone who was looking to get rid of it.
So it's like almost rotting flesh.
So
I mean,
you got two guys who will eat
for you, it probably tastes fine. It probably tastes great to Soth. I would say that Asric, who has the more tentative palate, maybe this isn't the best.
Given he's a sturdy son of a bitch. He probably has eaten worse. And also, given what they've eaten over the last however many days, It's probably still
Yeah,
pretty
nothing,
good.
basically.
Although it doesn't compare at all to the lovely snake he had before.
Yeah, it doesn't.
This is very good.
Yes. Azrig also chows down quite heartily, kind of forgetting the presence of the woman next to him.
Raiga, would you like some shark?
And she looks up, and she's just been eating some of the more tame things. There were some stew bowls included, and she just seems to be spooning out of the bowl some of what's left of the juices, and she just shakes her head. No, thank you. This is fine.
Okay, okay, I'm taking another piece. Let's go upstairs, yeah?
Azrig kind of takes another big bite and then downs like a huge glass of water. And
Very well. We'll have to come back for the rest.
Why didn't we take it upstairs with us?
Yes, good idea.
Azrig
I should pour another glass.
Azrig starts grabbing plates and kind of stacking them as best he can to carry them up.
Yeah, you can one-man it. I mean, you're big enough to one-man the platter.
Awesome.
So,
Yeah, he gets it all back on there and starts carrying it up.
so you guys, gotcha. So you guys go into a room here, and you're able to get in your own kind of space. Kill that music. So it's very. You come into the quiet, and you can hear a little bit of the banter and revelry downstairs. For the most part, it is rather quiet upstairs and relaxed, and it's just you lot here.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure the doors are secure, locked. I'm gonna look around the room, give it a quick one-over. Look for any, like, holes so people can listen in through, you know?
Yeah, As he does that, Azrig,
Why so cautious? What is wrong with the female?
She has a name too, you know. I remember your name, Azrig. You should remember.
he kind of grumbles and
Yes.
and he kind of looks to Aragorn and then to Soth. Kind of chitters his teeth a couple times for a moment. Points at Aragorn,
Yes.
and then points to Soth.
Soth. Right? Yes?
It is close enough.
Yes. And then he points at the
Aragorn
female.
nods.
And female. Yes? Name?
Marika, and she looks a bit nervous, but then she pulls the cloak back from her head and reveals the scarification that's there.
Azrig, actually seeing, is a bit surprised and kind of lurches in close, kind of grabbing her head and kind of looking at it.
Mm.
And he kind of looks to Soth.
It is very hurt. We should bandage it, yes?
Yeah, Marika looks very nervous about this big lizard man grabbing her head. She is more taken aback and is kind of looking at Soth, concerned.
Maybe let the human do it. He has soft hands. We have sharp ones.
Yes.
Azrig kind of clicks his claws together a bit.
Yes, too sharp. Not good for healing. Only good for killing.
And he kind of goes and sits and continues eating as he, motions for Aragorn to patch her up.
Is this okay with you, Marika?
And she
You don't
looks-
need to be tough. I've seen that one cry, and I'll point to Aragorn.
Yes, it is very soft.
Wow. Yikes.
She looks mostly human.
So she has kind of some human features, but you can tell she's not. Obviously, there's, like I said, her features are a bit elongated and fine. She also has pointed ears, and you do see that her teeth are a bit sharper. They're not standard,
I imagine
plain, boring human teeth.
I imagine Azric has a harder time kind of telling the difference between them.
But yeah, she looks at Soth and, why do you want me here, Soth?
I am not keeping you here. I just wanted you not to be in chains.
Arrogant will, as he takes her, starts to like look over her wounds and stuff, and he says, "You're a Vatagi."
I am glad that you can tell. And she looks a bit frustrated. Yes, I am Vatagi. It is not as if anyone will be able to tell that I am not anymore. And she kind of motions to the scar on her head.
Yes, it is very obvious. What did that to you?
People like him. And she looks at Ergen. Coffins. Scared coffins.
Yes. Scared soft little ones, yes.
Aragorn kind of grimaces at the thought of it, and some of us do not understand.
Understand what?
I believe that many of us, we're not so different, as with you and the Molfine.
Very different. Molfine are evil.
That
All
is
of
not a good analogy.
And he, Aragorn says, all of them are evil, just because of their skin color.
Maybe.
I think
Ezra kind of looks curious at
skills
that.
more.
Anyway, it's not like that with us humans. Many humans hate other humans just because of the color of their skin.
Yes, but humans are stupid.
That is true. You do not even know magic.
Ezra nods to that.
Jeez.
Aragorn laughs at it, and he grabs the brandy again and pours another mug. There are human wizards. I have heard of them.
And Moraga looks at Aragorn, and if you're going to try to fix this or bandage it, please go ahead. Furthermore, again, what is it you wanted to talk about, Soth? You saw what happened.
I saw what happened. I do not know what led up to that.
You are new here, then?
I arrived maybe... How long do you think I've been here?
Couple hours.
A couple hours ago.
She looks around, and it did not used to be this way, but recently, in the last few weeks, people have started to do these things. I was not the first. And she looks at the brandy being offered, and she takes it and nods. And, thank you. I don't know who started it or how, but those men with the dunes on their chest, they started to find Vatagi, isolate them when they could. I knew friends. They had things like this done to them, or they were worse, even. She shudders. I did not think it would happen to me. I put it aside. I thought I was safe. I was wrong. Clearly I was wrong.
These, you say they are Dune people, yes? Dunes on chest?
They cover themselves head to toe in garb. They are cowards. They hide their faces, but they all wear this symbol on their chest, this sign. It is like a sand dune, but there is some kind of figure in it, some character from some language I don't recognize. they get other people involved, people who are not wearing these things, like just afraid people of us, and they do these things, these terrible things, and they are never punished, they're never caught, ever. I do not understand how. We catch so many others. The guards do. Al-Hassam does, a good man. But they never catch these men. Never.
As you're kind of...
They kill us, yes, in the street?
They have not killed. They maim, they disfigure, they do even worse things from what I hear.
looks
And
pretty
she kind of,
furious at that.
yeah. But they have not killed anyone. I think that is part of the reason that they are able to get away with it. There is much crime in the city. Murderers, rapists, these people, they work too fine, but an assault or two, they do what they can, but there are so many people. It's so hard to find.
But Azra kind of looks very, again, for a lizard, as angry as it can really look, as he kind of turns to Soth.
But you found them, yes? You can find them again?
I can try.
They have things, yes? Things of value.
He kind of turns to her for this.
I'm assuming that's for healing Aragorn.
Yeah, I'll lay him 3 hit points back.
You basically just wrap it in cloth. Like there's
Yeah.
not much gets done as far as the. You know, she's gonna have it. She's gonna have it for the rest of her life, probably. You think, but it is wrapped.
He'll be patting it and say, well, maybe the brandy will help with the pain, but I'm sorry, I am not skilled in healing.
I don't expect someone to be able to fix it, and she said, "Thank you anyway." And she drinks the brandy rather deeply, and then looks at Asrig. And what do you mean things of value? You mean money?
Yes, things. Perhaps. I am thinking, yes, we need money. These ones make your ilk suffer. And perhaps we hunt them, yes? Like animals. Kill them all. And then take things of value, sell
But
them.
unless it is cleared with the legal system, they are not animals. We cannot just hunt. Do you know if there is anything for their heads, Meringa?
And she looks around a bit, and as far as them having valuable things, I do not know. I was not checking their pockets, but she looks around, and as far as a bounty, if that is what you are asking, nothing strictly legal. But there are those who would pay to see these men brought to some kind of justice.
Are you one of them?
I just want to survive. I don't want this to ever happen to me again or anyone else, but I am... She paused for a minute. I am just a whore. I just want to make my money. I just want to live in the city to survive. I know of some in our community who wish to not see this thing go on any longer. I can tell you their names, where to find them, but it is your business if you wish to pursue such a thing. I do not ask it of you. You have done more than enough for me, Soth.
Yes. Sounds like good work, yes?
He looks to Soth at that.
That is the only work I do. I thought you knew.
He shrugs.
Not sure. Knew you useful for, well...
He kind of seems to almost hold himself back at that.
For casting magic, maybe not. Or teaching, yes? But this, you're good at, yes?
I make do.
Good. Then yes, we hunt these ones. Good pay, hopefully. Or not, doesn't matter.
Either way, yes, this is useful to know. As long as you're okay, Miraiga, then it does not hurt to have these names.
She drinks the brandy again, and they are very well-to-do Vatagi. They were here during a pirate invasion, I think, from a few years ago. They became very popular among the folk here. Pasha Jadar himself commended them. The first one's name is Kane. The other one is Corix. They both own land in the Noble District. I can give you some idea where they are. They are often in the streets. They are trying to raise many to this cause. It is difficult because even some nobles are starting to buy into this, whatever it is movement, I guess, against us. I don't understand it, but I think Kane and Corix can help you if you are looking to do this thing.
Good, yes.
Yes. It is something that we will keep in mind. Do you need to stay with us, or... Honestly, you can do as you please, as long as you don't wind up in more chains.
And she vaguely smiles a bit and, thank you. I must get back to where I stay. Jamek will be wondering where I am. I will have to explain this. He is a good man. I think he will give me some time to recover, but I must prepare to start working again. Life does not stop to tragedy.
Ezra nods.
Is Jelmek Vatari?
She thinks for a moment, and I do not believe so. I do not think I ever asked him. People say he is an ogre. I do not know if they mean that in an honest way or if they say it to be foul towards him, but he is a good whatever he is.
Okay. Well then, if you need anything, we will be here for about a week. After that, I do not know.
And Maraga stands and will actually touch her her head bandage. Now she actually touches her head to so it says, "Thank you again. I do not know what would have happened had you not come. I would not have wished to have been the first murder."
Think nothing of it.
Yes, it is a shame I was not there to punish them.
Maybe that is for the best. We are just new arrivals. I already caused quite a stir. It would be bad to add more blood to that.
Ezra
Without, compensation, of course.
shrugs.
What is right. Cost or not.
What is right is being able to sleep not in a jail cell or executed in the street. I believe that is the most right of all. Besides, the end result is the same. Miraiga is safe, for now.
Maraga will nod to the two of you, pat Aragon on the shoulder as she leaves and throw the cloak back over her head before departing. To give you a quick rundown, Rogue, conversation had about punishing bad men who do dirty things to Vatagi, and some names were dropped on influential Vatagi in the city, Kane and Corix, who may be interested in bringing these people to justice.
Found in a noble district, walking around, Bofatagi. Also, there's a Jelmek who may be a pimp of some sort.
Jamek, yes.
Jelmek?
Possibly an ogre.
Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Also, she was... I don't remember when you stepped out.
As it was about when he was finished with the head wrapping.
Yeah, right after I did the heal.
So you are all left to your own devices in the room. Fairly spacious room. You did get 2 of them if you wanted to use them.
Ezra kind of turns to the others. Well, we should seek these out. These Vatagi, yes? These nobles.
Maybe not today, but yes.
First thing in morning, then.
Yes. Well, maybe you two can look today. I wish to lay low for now. I made a commotion.
Very well.
Aragon looks up from his brandy. Did you kill anyone?
No, I avoided that, but still, it may be easier to trace new arrivals and unexpected commotions, yes?
Yes, I agree.
So, according to everyone, I came here, first thing, I laid down, had some delicious shark, and took a nap.
Aragon looks over at Azric. My silver is running out pretty quickly. We will certainly need some more money.
Yes. Yes, hopefully this pays well. If not, we should ask for work, yes? As well, after this, yes?
Oh, by the way, I do not know if this is good craftsmanship, but maybe you can fetch a silver and I'll show him. I guess I wasn't really hiding it, but I have the spear.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can look it over if you wish. It is pretty easy to see. It is actually pretty decently well-made spear. And I can definitely give the stats for it. This is actually pretty pricey. If anyone wants to roll a... I don't think anybody has appraisal.
I do have
or whatever it
smithing,
is.
or weaponsmithing. I don't know if maybe...
Smithing could tell you about the craftsmanship, maybe, if you want to roll smithing. I don't know about price, though. Price would be... I think price would just be a straight in check.
I'll go for weaponsmith to see if it's like... That's what he'd be appraising it for more than anything. It's like, how good is this weapon?
So appraisal would be perception if you're trying to perceive value, because normally it is appraisal. Weaponsmithing, it is, it's quality make. It is actually pretty well made. You don't know much of the background for the person who was using it. Solf, of course, does know where it occurred, but it is a pretty well made spear.
You said perception? Maybe guess value?
Perception to guess value, yeah.
I guess Azric, after kind of assessing the quality, would then kind of try and price it in his head.
Ooh, okay, so Soth, you say Soth and Azric, you're kind of like, oh, this is probably worth a decent bit. You're not entirely sure. Aragorn, you know this kind of spear, the make of this spear, just from having previous experience with seeing your father's work. You've seen spears like this sell for between 18 to 24 gold pieces.
Nice.
Very nice.
So we'd probably get like half of that, or a quarter of it, maybe. Or...
Depends on how good you are at dealing.
That's still a good bit of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aragon would look at them both and, do you wish to use it? Or should we sell it?
I have no need for a weapon, but I do have need for food and shelters.
Yes, coin is more useful. It is a good spear, though.
Oh yes, I could get quite a nice stack of gold with it. Perhaps 10 gold, perhaps? Maybe 12?
Oh, yes, that would be very good. Yes, I say coin. Used to buy more materials, make weapons. Much better.
Perhaps we can take it back to the merchant in the marketplace, and I could do the talking.
Yes. Perhaps find blacksmith willing to lend shop to. Perhaps I work for them for a while. They let me use forge in exchange. No coin, that way they can afford me.
Aragorn nods. Good idea. And he's feeling like a little more comfortable about what happened with the tavern and everything, so he's been drinking a little bit of the brandy. Should I make a body check to see if he's handling it well?
If you've been getting fucked, then yes. I mean, if you've been drinking pretty heavy, then sure.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
I will do the what do you call it? The negotiations.
Jesus.
It'll be no problem. Yeah, you can tell he's like starting to like get wasted.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll perception checks either way. You can tell he is about to tip. He is not having a good time.
He said 10 gold. I am not so sure now, but...
Yes, perhaps we wait to sell for tomorrow. I can go speak to Smith, maybe.
Oh, another thing. This is not exactly something I purchased, so maybe we need to go to a certain type of vendor or dealer.
Ezra shrugs.
Keep it away from normal channels.
Perhaps. I do not know.
I could sell it right now. I mean, hold on.
Oh,
He goes and pours a little bit more brandy, and he's like, falls over up against the wall. Should we go now?
I tell you what, here.
Yes.
Aragorn, hold this, and I give him the
You give him what?
I'm giving you the spear.
Careful, he might
Okay.
break it.
I mean, with a roll of 1, you're about to topple. So I mean, you can tell me how this is going down because you're probably gonna knock out.
And he takes the spear and he's like, "Let's go!" And then just trips over the spear and falls face first into the ground. Kind of passes out on the floor.
Shit, I was going to make a joke, but...
Yes. It is very soft.
Why do we take him with us?
Brandy.
Yeah, Ezra kind of reaches over and kind of grabs Aragorn and, like, no delicacy whatsoever, just literally tosses him onto the bed.
There. Let it sleep.
Yes, I'm just saying, it is not good doctor, it cannot handle liquor. What does it do again?
Oh, you are beautiful.
Oh, yes, it loves the ladies.
It also talks pretty sometimes.
Sometimes I just heard him use slurring, so... I don't know. Whatever. Tomorrow then, yes?
Yes. Although perhaps I will see a smith about borrowing a workshop, yes? And then return.
I will watch over our friend here.
Yes, good.
Make sure no one follows you back, if possible.
Fine.
He kind of gives Soph a nod, chomps down one more piece of fish or shark or whatever is left, and heads out to check with one of the more downtrodden smiths that could really use the work.
Right. So you exit, and I'll bring you guys over for vision. You exit and begin to trace about the marketplace. Getting to be a little bit later in the day. Some people are packing up. The smith who you had a great conversation with is not readily there. You do meet another smith. It appears the quality of his work isn't so great. If you're being completely, transparent with it. He's kind of sitting there waiting. People go by. Occasionally he seems to have some sales, but he just is kind of sitting there. Looks a bit lame in the leg, and he sees you approach. And, good day there. How can I help you?
Yes, hello.
Is he just a Terran or human or?
He is.
Yes. You see, I need a blacksmith, yes? Someone to make weapons.
I see. Well, if you look here, I make many weapons. Look. See? All here.
Yes, I see weapons. They are suitable for fights, I guess. But I need to make certain weapons. Yes?
You are a smith?
Yes, weaponsmith.
Oh, good. Where do you make your weapons from?
None lately. It has been some time. Stuck traveling from Yanwu. Although I do not know why.
Oh. You're very strange. And he kind of smiles. You say you're from someplace, but do not know why.
Yes.
Did I lose you guys?
What's up?
Don't show that you're in here. Are you there, Rogue?
We must have. Can you hear us?
You there? Can you hear me? Rogue?
Oh no, the curse is passed on to another.
Oh no.
I think it's Discord,
It
man.
might be.
He would say he's disconnected from the game though too. Put a brief pause in it. We're almost done, so we can just put a bookmark to finish this up. Let's see if we can get him back real quick.
Is it paused?
Well, I bet.
That's up to our
Yeah, I'm
recorders.
keeping track of it.
Dude, we've been shitting on him.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
That was,
It's just
that was
Ezra.
so rude. You there, Rogue?
Hello.
There we go. There we go.
Alright, he's good. Just let us know when you're back in. You dropped for a second
All right.
from the game. Alright, you good?
Yep, we're good to go.
Alright, go ahead and resume. So...
Yeah, and Ezra kind of regards him.
Your work, yes? Commonplace, yes. But I can make special weapons, rare.
Well, you should get a good forge to help you do so.
Yes, exactly. I hear some around here cannot afford to hire, yes? But perhaps, though, you need assistance, yes?
He looks and... No, I sell much silverware. This is just a side job.
Yes. But you could use help, perhaps, making extra weapons, yes? Save time for whatever not side job is.
I have an apprentice. He is not here because he is studying at the mosque.
Yes, but I do not ask for fee, yes? I just need to use forge. In exchange, I do work for you. Use my own materials.
He kind of looks it over and he thinks about it. I am very particular about who touches my forge, but maybe I give you a different kind of offer. Are you familiar with Hasgred?
Ezra just shakes his head.
Hasgred was a smith in a poor district. Very interesting fellow. Did very not so good things to the prostitutes of the city. Was disbarred, put in prison, executed actually a couple of weeks ago. His house repossessed. Has a forge, has a kiln, has an anvil, tools. No one has claimed them. It belongs to the city. I am too poor to afford it. But perhaps you can buy it. And perhaps you make your fancy Mienu weapons there.
Yes. How much is it?
I do not know. No idea. I just know I am too poor for it.
Yes. And Azric will recall the guy Al-Hassan told him about the, buying a place in the city, and he'll...
That would be Falal Ahmed.
Very well. You are a good merchant. Very, very helpful.
Of course. Now, maybe you'd be a good customer and buy a knife or perhaps a spoon.
Does he have any daggers or anything like that?
He does have some daggers.
Anything that looks simple that wouldn't be pricey at all?
A dagger is going to be pretty pricey.
I mean, he's just looking for pretty much like a simple knife that he could fight with, Nothing
I mean,
special.
he's got some basic stone knives that'd be like 2 silver.
Sure. Yeah. He'll buy a nice, air quotes, nice obsidian one.
Yeah, so you see, you like the black dagger. I make this for myself. Very, very fancy. Very killy, too. Kill things very good. I killed a few bugs with it before I sold it, but cleaned it up very nice. And he hands you he reaches out, I give you good rate on this one, 2 silver. And even that is the standard rate for any stone knife ever.
Yeah, Ezra will just nod and pay for it. And
Very good. Yes. Good stone.
and he's kind of just saying whatever. And
Very well. Good day. Yes.
Yes, and good luck to you. I hope to see many people wearing your fancy Mianwu things.
Yes, hopefully. Make good coin.
and he'll kind of at that point, like as he's speaking, even just continue walking away. And he's gonna go look for that guy.
Alright, so you're going to the mosque? Alright. So probably our last scene here. But I will bring you fellas over to the mosque. So you approach the mosque, Asrig, and you, of course, get some interesting stairs. It's going to be later in the day a bit. In one of the... You do ask one of the... I'm assuming you ask one of the... those who are going about, one of the religious folk going about, one of the priests, where the... for Falal Ahmed.
Yeah, he probably butchers the name.
He
of the
nods.
process, but
Yeah,
close enough.
he has to try to translate a bit, and he nods and he leads you on with the younger priests. And you go through a couple corridors, and you come into a bigger room. And the priest, there is a discussion going on, but I do not understand. But I do not think it is something that the public cannot hear if they wish to. I would just ask you wait until they are finished. Falal Ahmed is among them.
Very well.
So you enter the room, and you hear a rather heated debate ongoing. 3 men you see pictured here, one of whom has a staff with a crystal upon it, another one an older man, a graying beard, and then lastly a man wearing a red cloak over his head, with goatee. They all seem to be debating something, and you catch, if you want to roll perception, you can try to catch portions of it.
Yeah, he's got nothing better to do, so he's just kind of sitting and listening as he waits.
So as you're sitting there, you do pick up quite a bit of the conversation. You gather names. This man is referred to as Imam, and this is also referred to as Falal, but also by Hassan. and then you figure this is Falal Ahmed from some of the conversations, and they kind of go back and forth. You do hear a couple of different things, and Falal Ahmed in particular is upset about something. And this cannot continue. The Vatagi in the city are a valuable asset and a good people to boot. This situation is going to continue to escalate until it is out of our hands. And the Imam seems more to be listening here. He's just kind of leaned back with his staff and contemplation. This other gentleman seems to be discounting it as just a natural fervor, riot, things like that, that will eventually go away with time and with the persistence of the guards. And the argument ends up petering out. The Imam dismisses them both, and he must think on it, is what he says, and he removes himself from the room. The other two look at each other very hardly. You can tell great animosity between them, Azrig. And then Falal Hassan also departs, and Ahmed begins to head in your direction, sees you, a bit taken aback, but looks at you, and if you approach him, you certainly could at this time.
Yeah, Azrig heads on up.
You are Falal Ahmed, yes?
It is Ahmed, but you are close enough, and you are...
Yes, I am Azrig Mudai.
He nods. Very good, Azrig Mudai. What is it I can help you with?
Yes, I was told by Al-Hassan, yes? Savior from the slaves.
I see. And what did Al-Hassan Savior tell you, Azrig?
Yes, he told me to seek you, yes? For residence.
He kind of rubs his hands together. You are one of the slaves from the expedition.
Yes. Helped many escape.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes, he actually did mention a few interesting individuals, one of which was a big blue lizard man, such as yourself. My apologies if I do not give you the proper term. I do not encounter many Sharfin here. Please, come sit. And he motions you over to a desk that's over nearby. And
Azrig sits quite happily.
Yes, it is fine.
okay, Azrig, can you read and write?
Yes.
Very good. And he will put down some paperwork. He will bring out a scroll as well he begins to read from. So, I believe that you are here to apply for citizenship to own property. Is that accurate?
Yes. I was speaking to a smith down in the trade area, yes? Some home in the, he said, poor area. Smith.
Yes. You probably spoke to the one who sells spoons.
Yes, that one. He sold me a shoddy knife.
Farid, yes. Yes, we all know Farid here. Very well. Yes, there is a home, but I do have to put you through our entry interview before I give you any kind of citizenship in the city. So I would ask you a few questions, and you had to answer them honestly.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you have a criminal history?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of?
Yes. The slavers struck my head. It did not go well. Memories are jumbled, but I would never hurt anything without good cause.
I see. He looks at you and looks at the paper, and he seems to check a couple other portions of it off on his scroll. We will make some considerations given the mental state. It sounds as if you may have suffered a head injury. Those are looked favorably upon, as they can be difficult to overcome. So, okay. He just kind of glazes over it. Okay, so no known criminal history. That is good. You have, again, the vouching of a higher official. They said he did mention you by name in one of his reports to the Pasha, so that is something. He does not often make such allowances, Al-Hassam. He is very by the book. I will notate that here, of course. What is your purpose in the city? Why do you wish to become a citizen of Dum Dooh? What can you contribute?
Ezra kind of looks, kind of again tapping his claws to his chin.
I'm not entirely sure yet. Many things, though. I am a Mudai, warrior of sorts. But also, as I said before, smith, weaponsmith. I can craft, I can cast magic, I can fight. Many skills.
What kind of magic?
Simple things. Not much yet, but I seek to learn. Mana bolt. I am capable of detect life, yes? Simple spells, but...
Very good. And he's been notes as well. Okay. So, there'll be other things we must fill out in the future here. But I believe we can put you to preliminary citizenship for now until we can get you through a full year's time of living here. The preliminary status allows you to own the property on contingency that you maintain your citizenship with the city in good standing. To do so, you have to pay a tax. You are going to be... given that there is no defined skill set and that blacksmithing is a very popular trade in the city, as you might expect, it is going to be difficult to get any good property. I will be completely forthcoming with you. You will likely be in the Port District.
Yes, as the other smith mentioned. It does not need to be anything fancy.
As long as you are comfortable with it. So, the cost of the property is going to be... let me make accounts for... I must account for the condition of the home, and he looks very kind of hesitant when he says condition. Bear with me just a moment, then he goes through such as boxes of my... So, the cost to purchase the property will be 2 gold pieces. You will owe a tax per month of 3 gold pieces per occupant. Do you have any other occupants who will be staying with you?
Perhaps. But for now, just me. We will see if I let them in.
Understood. If you do include the occupants, I will tell you we have a very serious tax collector and a very serious inspector. Please do report if you're going to have more than yourself. I do not wish to penalize you for keeping people in your home without giving the city advance notice.
Yes, of course.
The 2 gold is due within the next 2 weeks.
Asrig reaches...
Otherwise, you'll be evicted from
I was
your
going to say,
property.
he just reaches into his pocket and grabs 8 silver.
Yes, here.
And he looks at it and... Very good. And he takes the silver and he goes through roots around, and that is not the one. There it is. And he hands over a quill and unfurls a scroll. This is the deed to the property. It is referred to as Hezekin's Rest. You can rename it later with the city if you wish. It is named after the previous owner. Not the best fellow, but Hezekin's Rest. You may sign here, and the property is yours.
Yes, very good. Thank you for your speed in this. It is helpful.
As he kind of just signs away.
Thank you for taking this off my hands. And he hands you the scroll. I will tell you there's much work that needs to be done on this house, and it does not have the best reputation. I apologize to you in advance, but I believe you understand all of the difficulties that may come with owning a property in this district.
Yes, it is not an issue. I can defend it well if someone attempts something. And of course, I will not cause trouble. I enjoy the work.
Very good. And he screws everything up, puts the coins in the desk. So we will go ahead and we will waive the tax for the first month out of good faith and upfront purchase of the home. You will not owe taxes until the upcoming month. You have until the second week of the month to pay your tax per occupant, 3 silver. And here's the key. And here is some direction on where it is located in the port district. He hands you a small pamphlet-style map. Do you have any questions for me, Asric?
He pockets all the stuff he's given, the key and everything. He makes sure to keep very tightly closed in his in one of like the tighter pouches where he keeps his money and stuff.
Yes, actually. You spoke earlier, yes, of the Vitagi.
You overheard that conversation?
Yes. I apologize. I did not mean to intrude, yes?
Well, it was official church business. I must say I'm not too pleased that it reached public ears of what is a now preliminary citizen of the city, but yes, it was a conversation about the Vitagi. I don't suppose you're from
Yes, surprisingly.
being...
Actually, friend, yes? Encountered one. Hurt, wounded by some individuals with a...
He kind of motions towards his chest.
dune marking, yes, with strange symbol?
I am familiar.
Yes. Badly wounded female. Yes. She says, well, perhaps we can find work, help stop these attacks, yes? And would that be good?
I would certainly like the attacks to be stopped, but I believe I know who you are referring to. And while I appreciate their contributions to the city, I cannot advocate what they are advocating. I would like very much for these people to be uncovered. I believe that the Vitagi are important to the city's continued growth, are valuable citizens, and even more so, they are people. I may not seem like it, but I am one who believes the city is built on its people. So, when I hear things like this, it upsets me greatly. I would like you to uncover who this is. Of course, absolutely. But going through Mr. Kane and Mr. Corix and their methods that they're proposing, that is almost tantamount to being arrested. I would not wish for your citizenship to conclude so ungracefully.
That is a shame. I wish to stop these attacks. It is cruel, the things they do.
Perhaps he kind of looks to him, kind of more curiously, tilting his head a bit.
Perhaps you could hire me, yes? To investigate.
And he leans back. Normally, I would not respond to such open requests for work, but Al-Hassam himself had stated that you seemed like a capable band, that you saved many slaves from within, apparently. I trust Al-Hassam. Very well, Azric. And he leans forward. I cannot contract you officially to do this, and I cannot condone any wanton death or murder in the streets of Dum Dooh. I am a holy man. But if you were to discover the root cause of this movement in the city, or uncover any officials that have contributed to it, I would be willing to put in a good word and offer payment. I cannot stipulate what that would be at this time because we are unofficial in this contract and I do not intend to make a solid agreement, but I can assure you it is much more than your house is worth.
That is very useful. To be honest, I would do it just to help, so the coin is appreciated. Perhaps then, if such individuals, yes, became aggressive, and I fought them off, but did not hurt them too much, did not kill, yes? Is that suitable?
I cannot condone murder, but self-defense, that is up to the guards to make a justification on.
Very well. I will be soft on them then.
If you uncover anyone, bring this information or bring them to the guards. I will uncover how they were located, and if it is through your means, I will reach out to you, and you will be suitably compensated.
Very good.
And he'll kind of,
Do we have an unofficial agreement?
Yes, of course.
and Azric will actually kind of stand and kind of put both palms together and kind of give him like a very curt bow.
Thank you for your assistance, Falal Ahmed, yes?
Yes, indeed. You learn names quickly, my friend. And he stands up and he returns the bow. May Pasha protect you.
I do not usually learn quick. My friends seem to get angry when I don't, though.
Well, unfortunate for them. And he looks about. Is there anything else? I have a few duties I must get to.
No. You've been more than enough help.
And I expect you will be a great deal of help to not only myself, but to the people of which you share the city with.
Thank you. Good day, yes?
And he
And
bows. And good day.
Azric will head back. New plan in motion.
And as you exit the mosque, a deed for a home and an unofficial word to begin an investigation of the streets. The screen fades to black.